Alrighty, traders, this is Blake Morrow, and you are listening to the daily Roundup webinar. I hope everybody's having a great trading session. And hey, we're seeing some volatility today, even though, let me pull this up really quick. Find a screen for you. Let's see, Euro, US dollar, implied volatility, 1 month. This is the euro dollar implied volatility 1 month at all-time lows. Yeah, it is. But don't be worried. Don't be worried. It's always darkest before it's dawn, right? Right? That's at least what I keep telling myself. We are at the lowest levels of implied volatility on a monthly basis in the euro dollar, and so tells us that the market's going to be really calm. But I'm going to give you the but we're starting to see a little bit of volatility pick up. And matter of fact, I'm actually a little bummed out about the euro dollar. I was looking for, see this, if you guys follow the face webinar, you guys I'm just trying to grab, there it is. Yeah, I could actually make 2 of them because, oops, that's not what I wanted. Let's put it back over here. I wanted to grab that, and I wanted to put that right there. That's where I was looking to get long the euro. I saw a lot of traders shorting the euro into the 70s earlier this morning, and I was like, man, that's dangerous. It's a dangerous game, playing right into that trend line. A lot of support down here. So I was trying to get long, and then as the fix came, we bounced right off of these levels. I actually had a bid at the mid 60s, did not get tripped, unfortunately. So what do you do? Well, I'll tell you what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to chase that higher in a low volatility environment in the euro. But I actually still have my bids out there, just in case, we make another dip. One of the things that could lead me to believe that the euro could take a little bit more of a dip is because obviously the euro yen's trading heavy. We are, this is a previous 618 here, but it's probably pretty close to a 618 retracement. Let's double check. Here's the euro yen, lows to highs. Actually, we're near the 50% retracement. So I'm hoping we might take one more stab lower. And the big flows have been today have been in the euro pound, and you can see the euro pound. We got very oversold. If you're a ForexAnalytix subscriber, you already knew that we were coming up to the 127% extension. This is the 50% retracement of this whole move. 127% extension of the range. We were grossly oversold down here. So a couple traders picked up the euro pound down at these levels. I've been focusing on the dollar yen, so congratulations to those of you that were picking it up down here. Now, I don't know if I'd necessarily hang on to any short euro or long euro pounds unless we end up making a false breakdown by the end of the day. We close back above 84.60. However, 4-hour RSI is very oversold. As you can see, very oversold. So there's a good possibility that we do create a false breakdown, but it could consolidate, and then just the RSI will start working off this oversold condition as we just consolidate. So I think if you are on the long side and you picked it up down here, you just want it to close back above 84.60. As you can see, I have an alarm set there, because I want to be notified if it is a false breakdown. That will, I may not even trade the euro pound. I might trade something else, like maybe the euro dollar, or perhaps the euro Aussie, which I think is extremely bullish looking. Speaking of the euro Aussie, you look at the euro Aussie, we've got this big, I'm going to get a lot of slack for this, but there's a big inverted head and shoulder pattern. But I don't like having a head and shoulder patterns when there's no arm, right? There's no arm. You see an arm there? I don't. I'm just drawing one. So, but more importantly, it'd be a breakout above 163, and I think that would lead us to much higher levels in the euro Aussie. So again, it doesn't have to be the euro pound that I trade. I'm more excited about trading the euro on different crosses, but like I said, it would also help me make a decision to be potentially trading other currencies as well. All right, now let's talk a little bit about the dollar Canadian. So the dollar Canadian, you know, obviously the Bank of Canada, very dovish. A lot of people are really, you know, worried that this might be a shift in the Bank of Canada for a possible rate cut moving forward. Actually, if you let me pull that Bloomberg back up again. Let's see. Let's go over to here. Let's go warp. And then I'll pull up the Canada. And if you see, the cut probabilities for Bank of Canada have increased markedly, you know, over the next couple of meetings. And so the market's now starting to be concerned that the, you know, Bank of Canada might induce some sort of rate cut, which wouldn't be so surprising to me and to anybody that listens to the Face webinar. You listen to Steve every day. He talks about, you know, the Canadian data. We haven't seen a good piece of Canadian data in quite some time. And so when I heard Pola's talking about how the data is decidedly mixed, I think is the terms he used, I was like, really? Mixed? I thought it was crap. You know, I was looking at, you know, your data's crap. No wonder you're dovish. Here's the problem technically. Everybody's short the dollar Canadian. We talked about this on the Face webinar, and now we are testing not only the 50-day moving average, 161% extension of this this recent range, but it's the underside of this big broken trend line. My fear is for anybody who's trading the Canadian, if you're long Canadian dollars and it gets above like 32, we're going to squeeze. There is nothing more deadly in a chart formation than a massive false breakdown. You guys might be able to answer this question. You can think about it. False breakdown leads to what? Breakout, right? So you get a false breakdown. Next thing you know, we're going to be trading up at, you know, 135 if we really start making some headway here. That's something to think about. It's something to think about if you're trading the Canadian yen, the Euro Canadian, pound Canadian. I think the Euro Canadian looks phenomenal down here. I'm not long, but this is something I've been watching quite extensively down at these levels, because look, we got a multi-year trend line here in the Euro Canadian. We've been probing around it. You know, you can see us just kind of probing around these levels. You know, we get much higher, you know, above like, let's say 146. Well, we're going to start to see a squeeze here too. So it's not just the dollar Canadian, it's the Euro Canadian. You know, a lot of different Canadian pairs look vulnerable now to a squeeze higher. A couple real quick questions, or a couple chats, I guess. Peter said, missed your entry by 5 pips. Yeah, on the Euro, yes. Sitting my hands here, keep from fading the dollar Canadian. Pound Canadian moved big today. Yeah, you know, I would be very careful about shorting the dollar Canadian or any Canadian pair. What I'm doing, and if you were in the ForexAnalytix chat room, that's where, you know, I've been discussing it, but I'll let you in on a little clue. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for a dip back down to 131. So if I can get a dip down to 131, I'm going to be a buyer. The problem that I'm facing, and anybody with this type of strategy might be facing, is now the risk is it ain't coming close to that. So if we're due to squeeze higher, you know, we might consolidate, we might not dip, and so that's now becoming the risk. I might actually end up being have a small case of the FOMO, the fear of missing out, versus, you know, trying to wait for my entry, because this move is very impulsive. So now, you know, if we get a pullback, will it be all the way down here? I don't know. It might be like this, and then we break out. Then we do something like this, right? So that, I think, is now the risk for the dollar Canadian. Not so much lower, it's now higher. So what I'll be looking for is to buy dips. Question is, how far can it dip and will it dip? Those are the questions that I think we're going to find an answer to here in the next 24 hours. All right, guys and gals, hey, listen, if you have not tried out ForexAnalytix and you want to join me in the community where I'm at, here's our chat where I'm at all day. You know, and there's Paul Franco. You can see we're all, you know, just kind of chit-chatting throughout the course of the day, charts, talking. you know, yada, yada, yada. You want to know what I'm doing, Amanda's doing, Paul's doing, Steve's doing, Stelio's, that's where we're all at. So if you want to be part of the ForexAnalytix community, this is the best time of the year you're going to get this pricing. It only comes around twice a year. The next time's in September. So take advantage of it. All right, guys and gals, have a great one. I'll see you tomorrow on the Face webinar. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.